All right, I'm going to mute. I've been on mute. I'm going back.
Okay.
We're all pulling for you, Carlos.
Alright, good evening, folks. This is Whiskey 6 CRP, getting ready to start the 2-meter crew anti-net. I'll be the coordinator tonight for the 2-meter crew anti-net. As always, I want to thank the W6VVR owners and operators for letting us use the repeater and the Back Valley Radio Club. As always, if there's any priority traffic, let us know. We'll clear the frequency. So any priority traffic at this time. Alright, hearing none. Just a reminder, 2-meter crew, we're not a real club. We're a bunch of guys that hang out and enjoy all things ham. A lot of learning, trying new stuff. Try to get out in the field. COVID has slowed us down a little bit, but we're pretty active. If you want to learn anything else about the club, a couple of spots you can go. You can go to Facebook, the number 2MC, and there's a site there. Or you can go to the number 2metercrew.com. There's a website to check out. And listen to us here on the Anti-Net. There's no dues or fees to be a 2-meter crew member. And as always, this is an open net. Everyone's welcome. Please feel free to join in. 2-meter crew Anti-Net, we meet every Wednesday at 7 on the W6VVR repeater. Frequency of 145.470 with a negative offset 600 kilohertz. And a PL tone of 127.3 hertz. There's also several other ways you can access us through EchoLink, at WG5EEK, through the AllStar node 51094, or through the DMR talk group 314-9964. The Anti-Net is also being live streamed on the YouTube channel Ham Radio TV. So you can check us out there, and if you go there, these different access means are streaming along the bottom, so you can pick up the access numbers. Tonight, just so you kind of have a reference point, we're going to go ahead and do old check-ins, and then I'll come back around to those that want. And the topic for tonight is going to be, what gadget or equipment have you made that you use in your ham shack all the time? Good reference for other people to know what tools you use. Or if you haven't built one, what is your essential item that you use around your ham station? So think about that, what would be interesting to share, give other folks ideas. A lot of us new folks, let us know what we need for our shacks, and we'll cover that when I come back around to you.
KN6 HLK, checking in.
All right, KN6 HLK, and we'll come around for check-ins here in a few minutes. We're going to take care of a little bit of business here real quick. Website updates, not a lot of activity there. I've cruised through the website a couple of times. Let's see, Nick, did you have any Facebook updates?
Yeah, thanks, Carlos.
Update on Facebook here real quick. Looks like we have 190 members right now on the 2-meter crew Facebook. So if there's people out there that want to jump in, we'll get your...
Oh no, I can't stop them. Can't stop them.
There's a lot of great info. People have been sharing things all week long about different activities.
Let go, Nick.
What has happened during field day, different types of
that you have, and there's a lot of people over there to try to help you out. So yeah, if you haven't been there, check out 2MC on Facebook, and we will get you logged in. There's two questions that are asked, and your call sign and your zip code. So all you got to do is throw those in there and check in. So thanks, Carlos.
Nick, I hate to tell you this, but you have a horrendous echo. KM6FAK.
Three-way.
Yeah, we'll roll back around that way. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, pretty good echo. But I did catch a lot of activity on the 2 Meter Crew Facebook site, so folks go check that out if you want to get updates. I know I've seen old
At least you could kind of hear them.
K6 DJV mountaintop in there a bit.
That was trippy. Play off the mushrooms, Kyle.
Jason, I'm going to check over to you to see how we're doing on the live stream. Anything over there?
All right, very good, Carlos. Yes, we are live on YouTube. If people aren't aware, out there in RF land, you can find us. Ham Radio TV is the channel. We've got a handful of people. I don't know. What's the amount? Doesn't matter. Maybe 40-ish. But you know what? I've been kind of looking at a few things this week. So let me share. Of course, don't forget to go to WG5EEK.com. This site. Let me change this here. This site is where all the magic is happening as far as EchoLink and AllStar, and it shows you all the people that are currently logged in. A very cool map of people who've been here. You can click this link here. It'll take you who's actively logged in. A spider map. We've kind of went over this before, but it's way cool. These photos are pulled from your QRZ. So if you haven't updated that, go check that out. And also, I like flipping over to MTC for my California friends. MTC still qualifies not to charge you tax. So how fun is that? So go check those guys out. They're down in Texas. Looks like they're running a pretty cool sale on a 7100. 30% off. Not too bad. But more exciting, fairly exciting, is I've got some friends over there in Australia. Hayden with Ham Radio DX. Check out his YouTube channel. Anyways, he shared this website, Strictly Ham. And look at that, okay? 1849 for the ICOM 705. You know, this is a brand new radio. We've been kind of waiting for the price point. It is a QRP rig, but it does everything. So I had to get on Google because I'm like, well, what's 1849 down under? I don't know. I mean, they have big knives. And so I came up with $12.89 US dollars from the conversion. So pretty exciting stuff. And that's all I have to say for right now. This is KM6FAK.
All right. Thank you, Jason. Any DXing reports? Has anybody had some nice contacts or been doing any sodas or POTAs? I don't know if Brian is on listening to us. I know he tried to activate a park in San Francisco, I believe it was the other day. But anybody have anything to report DXing?
WG5EEK.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead.
This Monday, took the family up to the top of Mount Vaca, and we did a little bit of, just a little bit of 2 meter DX or, calling channel. And 30 minutes, I got 11 contacts. The furthest away was 85 miles, which I thought was pretty decent for 2 meters, not so bad. It was kind of like an odd time. Could have had, obviously, more if, I probably timed it better. But, I had fun. Went up there, expecting to make maybe 2 or 3, got 11, called it a day. The family was getting restless, so, had some fun time on 2 meters.
Very cool. Sounds good. And KN6BNQ. Is it BNQ or BBQ? Brian's call sign. Somebody help me out with that. And are you out there? You must not be there yet. Alrighty. So remember our topic. First I'll just take check-ins, and then I'm going to come back around for the topic, see what you have built that's essential to your shack, or what gadget or doodad do you use in your shack all the time that's essential that you want to share with everybody. Alright, so we're going to start taking check-ins now. So come now, try to go one at a time. Give me a good clear call sign because I'm writing them down. I want to make sure we get them. Come now.
November, Quebec 6, Oscar, Rick. Is my echo going?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a double there, and it sounded like your echo was gone, but I think I got NQ60. Is that a check-in there?
That's affirmative, Rick, Vacaville.
All right, Rick, thanks for checking in. Who's next?
KN6IZB. This is Joel.
KN6IZB, Joel. Thanks for checking in. And who's next?
Good evening, Carlos of the Net. This is Dan. Kilo Foxtrot 6, Hotel in Woodland. And Brian's call sign is Kilo November 6, Victor November Queen. I'm forgetting my phonetics for ham.
Yep, I got it. V&Q. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's right. And the Triple H is in the house. Welcome aboard there, Dan. Who's next?
KJ6DLF, Chris.
KJ6, the other very low frequency. How are you this evening? Thanks for checking in. Who's checking in next? All right, 2-meter crew, anti-net. This is Whiskey 6, Charlie Romeo Papa, the coordinator for tonight on the Back Valley repeater. And we're taking check-ins now. Anybody checking in, we'll take EchoLink, AllStar, other.
Feel free to grab the old cell phone if you're not local and do the EchoLink.
UB6WIF, Mike in Vacaville.
UB6 WYF, Mike, how you doing? Thanks for checking in. Anybody else? All right, we'll swing back around that way in a few minutes. We'll start the discussion and see what good stuff folks have come up with that they use in their shacks. Rick, did you have anything you wanted to share with the group, or let us know what's one of the essential gadgets you use in your ham shack? NQ60.
Well, I've been in a collecting mode for a while here.
Ah, yes. Don't forget to mute your YouTube. Not a problem.
Oh, I got it. I've been in a collecting mode. The most recent acquisition was a Bird 43 power meter and leatherette case, I'll call it, for lack of a better term. Unfortunately, the guy that sent it to me from Florida packed it in such a way that it got damaged, and it destroyed one of the coax connectors on the side of the thing, and I'm waiting for a replacement for that, so I haven't even had the chance to use it yet. But I am looking forward to playing with it.
Oh, that sounds cool. That is something I do not have. I'm pretty early on, I think, in building my shack, so I don't have any good SWR or other testing equipment, which is kind of where I want to go, so I can play with the antennas a little bit, but that sounds good. Let's see, KN6 IZB, Joel, did you have anything you wanted to share with the group?
Nothing as far as building anything. Haven't gotten very far. Went on the recommendations for the antenna for the top of the car, like you guys offered, and just kind of still building it, but nothing earth-shattering. I did find out in Yosemite there's no repeaters that you can get, though.
Oh, nothing gets out of the valley, huh? I have a cabin up in Arnold, which is still ways off Yosemite, but it's kind of up there in that area. And there's what is it? The TOU. There's a Tuolumne repeater, one down by Angels Camp on a mountaintop down there. So there's a couple around in there to hit, but they may not reach down in that valley. Yosemite's pretty deep, so I don't know if you're getting out of that one.
I think so, but Simplex worked really good in the valley, though.
Yeah, point to point in the valley, unobstructed, no doubt. Oh, well, that's good. Well, thanks for checking in. Let's see, KF6, Triple H, Dan.
Good evening. The Dan KF6 Triple H. I'm not a big collector. Probably the things that I like the best are the, I guess it's West Mountain, the Power Gate, and the Rig Runner, which I have connected to a couple of deep cycle, I guess they're like electric chair, wheelchair type batteries for when the power goes out. I've got power for hours and hours and hours and hours. And that's always important for areas and stuff like that. KF6 Triple H.
Yeah, good battery power backup. I have that up at the cabin, deep cycle battery. All I have is 2 meter up there right now, but I do like that. You don't have to worry about power outages. I need, as I work on the shack down here, it'd be nice to have a constant trickle battery pack ready to go if power goes out here, but always working on something else. KJ6, VLF, how are you doing?
Good doing here. Just finished up building kind of a go box and a Fat 50 ammo can. Got my FTM 400 sitting in it. Seems to be working out all right. But probably one of the things I love is my Anderson power pole crimpers. Used to solder those things, and then I got the crimper, never again.
It's worth the money then, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's a good tip, because I've looked at them and was too cheap to buy them, but maybe I should spend the money.
Yeah, they're definitely a lifesaver when you're trying to do a project like this and you got a couple of the Anderson power poles in there, and it's just trying to sit there and solder them and get them in the right direction can be a nightmare. It can be done, but so much quicker with the crimper.
What is Justin doing right now?
Yeah, that sounds good.
What a view.
Hey, anything else to add to that one? The grippers, that's probably a good tip there.
That's probably about it on my end, but thanks for doing the net tonight.
No problem. We always have fun doing it. And Whiskey 6, CRP, coordinator tonight for the 2 meter crew, anti-net. WB6, WYF, Mike, how are you doing?
Good. Actually, I don't have much to add. I've been away for a long time, just getting back on the air after a couple of years, and everything I had is gone, so I'm just basically starting over. Biggest thing I like is my multimeters. They're really handy. WB6WY.
Yep, good multimeter will do a bunch for you, no doubt. Let's see, I'm going to go over to NetLogger to see who else has logged in there. See if anybody else wants to chime in and let us know what essential gadget they use in their shack.
1FRD, Fred here. Didn't get a chance to check in. I'll check in now. And what I like to play with in my shack is my Nano VNA. I like playing with antennas, and you got to be able to check out the SWR.
Yep, I remember when you bought that, Fred, and bought it to that breakfast back when we could used to be able to congregate back in the old times before COVID. So you're still liking that? It's working pretty good?
Yeah, still using it, still like it.
Good deal. Let's see. How about KN6DAL? See if you solved that echo. And what do you have to share with Doodad from your shack?
Hey Carlos, KN6DAL is the echo under control now?
Yeah, you sound good.
All right, thanks. Yeah, the only thing better than hearing my voice once is hearing it twice, so that's not a bad thing, I don't think. I'll just re-update the Facebook thing real quick. We're at 190 members right now. If anybody wants to, who hasn't already done so, wants to go on Facebook and look up 2MC, there's a lot of great info that's being posted on there all the time. So really great resource if you have any questions or lots of videos are being linked in there from multiple different YouTubers that are posting great articles on different radios and stuff like that. And that's where I learn a lot of information. But yeah, in my shack, I've just been kind of playing around with different antennas, making like some in-fed half waves, building little Ballons and Unins and stuff like that, testing things out like that. And nothing really new. I did write down the power pole crimpers, so to the person that mentioned that, I think that's a great idea. I, on the other hand, am cheap too and soldering all of them. But that would be my most useful part of, I think, my shack would be my soldering iron, because I use it all the time, and I'm constantly building stuff and taking things apart, and I always want to have a good connection, so I use soldering iron all the time. And yeah, with that, I don't have anything really new other than I am doing something profound for me. I'm learning something new. And that's Morse code. I'm learning CW. So I've downloaded some apps, and I've been practicing them on a regular basis, and I have 2 letters down. And for those of you that know Morse code, they're going to laugh at me, but I know E and T extremely well. I got them memorized. But no, I'm going through. I have a little remote MFJ keyer, and I'm using that to kind of retrain my brain how it works. I just want to learn it. I think it'd be really cool to learn that and be fluent and be able to key at a respectable rate to where I could understand people and people could understand me. It may take some time, but I think it'll be interesting. So that's all I got. Thanks, Carlos. KN6, DAL, and Everett.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I'd like to say I'm going to tackle Morse code. I keep saying I will. We'll have to see if I can get my brain around it. How about N6CMB? He's keeping up our net logger tonight. Thanks for doing that, Chris. And what's essential in your shack?
Boy, that's a good question. I was like looking around, and there's nothing that I don't feel like I would want to give up. Everything sort of has its place and its use. But guys were talking about test gear, and one of the things, it took me a long time to buy, and I bought it before I was a ham. I was doing a lot of audiophile building amplifiers and stereo components, and an oscilloscope is a bit of a daunting piece of test kit for someone to buy, I think, if you've never used one. But they're very reasonably priced now for good quality, pieces of kit, and they're super useful. You'd be surprised what more you can do with them when you start to do a little more advanced testing. So if you start really digging into your gear, don't be afraid to get an oscilloscope. They're reasonably priced, and they can really help you out when you're testing.
Thank you, sir. That is something I've seen and looked at, but yeah, I thought was pretty well beyond me, my skills. But you never know. Maybe one day you'll show me how to run one, and I'll think I need it. Thanks, sir. Who else should we check in with? Let's go with the Geek, MG6EK.
This is the Geek WG5EEK. I think my most used item in the shack, besides my HT, which I use every day, is the AllStar Link node. I like it because it allows other people that may be out of the area, or people that see the Facebook or the YouTube, or just kind of like stumble upon us randomly, and allow us to have a nice conversation with those individuals. It's really neat, and I also like to use it a lot when I'm at work. I can kind of monitor to see if someone's transmitting over the repeater, and I can log in with my phone, and I can make contact with them as well. Or it's just a fun, very valuable piece of equipment that I like, and it's repeatable. It really didn't cost a whole lot of money. The radio itself was donated, so that didn't cost me anything, but help put that together. And then I had a Raspberry Pi antenna, and had to buy an adapter cable to go from the radio to the Pi, which was not too bad. It's like $50. So all in all, I'm in at less than $100, and it provides a lot of interface with the repeater. You come in through EchoLink or DMR or AllStar if you have that as well, and and then you still got RF, so it doesn't really take anything away, it just adds to it. So I'd say that was my most valuable thing. WG5EEK.
Oh, thank you, sir. This is W6CRP, 2-meter crew anti-net. Let's go to KJ7OTQ. Are you still listening to us out there?
Yeah, KJ7OTQ here, south of Tacoma, about 30 miles.
Oh, nice. And what gadget or doodad do you have in your shack that's just become essential to you?
Well, I'm kind of new to the ham. I just got my license about 3-4 weeks ago, and so far the most is probably my SWR meter for building antennas. I don't have a antenna analyzer yet, but I plan on getting that CAA Mark II, I think it's called, from Comet to keep building antennas. I'm in the process of building a 80-40 10 and 6 meter fan dipole right now, but I'm still working on building everything up. Back to you, KJ7OTQ.
Yeah, the fan dipole, Nick and I were just talking about that before the net started. I have an 80-meter long wire up, ladder fed, and a tuner, so I can tune down to the other channels. But that's one that's always interested me. I think they're a lot more efficient if you have the fan dipole and doing an 80-40-20 at least. So yeah, good luck with that, and that's one I want to build in the future myself. Thanks for checking in. Let's see. How about KN6IOB? Let's go back to our live streamer and see if he wants to check in and update us. And what essential gear does he have? He has the shack there now. I want to hear which doodad he thinks is his essential piece. KM6FAK.
Let me give a little microphone gain. Very good. KM6FAK. So what you're looking at is something I recently built. And this would be a mono band inverted V on 80 meters. Now, 80 meters, of course, is somewhat challenging, especially if you live in suburbia. So you're not going to be able to build these homebrew inductor wound. These are my inductors. Oh, I can't point over there. I can't build this without an MFJ. And I have a fairly inexpensive one, the MFJ 259B. This guy won't do 70 centimeters, but that's okay. I don't find myself building a whole lot of 70 centimeters antennas. And so as you can see here, I'm kind of looking pretty good, 3.7, 1.5. And then what it looks like up in the air, so I live in a 2-story house. I've got some rigid conduit up there, and with a pulley, I pull it up, and the ends of the wire are about 30 feet long, tied to some parachute cord, which then I anchor to my eave. A lot of stuff going on there. But, so yeah, I would say you need an antenna analyzer if you're going to be experimenting HF. Of course, 2 meter. A lot of guys will probably buy a commercial antenna for 2 meter. But, yeah, so those are my 2 kind of tips, tricks, homebrew. Later I'm going to put some more wires on this because you don't have to run it mono, but running it mono can really give you the ability to dial it in, tune it up, and also the wife barely notices it. So that's what I got, KM6FAK.
Well, thank you, sir. What was that unit number again, the MFJ?
Yeah, so MFJ 259 Bravo. There's definitely a lot out there. Diamond makes a great one. MFJ has a newer one that'll do 70 centimeters. Rig Expert is fantastic. You're going to pay a little bit more, but they're very nice. And I find the traditional antenna analyzers work a little bit better than those little those smaller kits. What's the name? It's escaping me. The smaller kind of Chinese stuff. But having something is better than nothing.
Yes, that is true. Let's see, looking down NetLogger, how about N6SMH?
Good evening, Net. This is N6SMH, Scott in Roseville. And I have in my shack something I use a lot is paracord. I don't think anyone said that one yet. I use a lot of the other things mentioned, soldering iron and all those things. But paracord, I like that paracord stuff. It fits in the insulator eyelets real easily. It ties off real easily. Easy to cut, easy to trim the ends, and you can use it for other things too. It's not just ham radio. So big fan of the paracord. So you can use that to tie up your antennas, lift them up, raise them up, and I'm sure other people have other great ideas for paracord out there. Back to net control. Thanks, N6SMH.
Yeah, definitely a good one, Scott. And so far, it seems to be holding up pretty well out in the weather. That's what I have my long wire strung up with. And so I was worried about it deteriorating, but it's been up, over a year now. So holding up. We'll see how long it lasts. Thanks for that. BA6 GKT. Okay, how about AA0Z?
Hey, Carlos, we got a few of those that I checked into the interwebs. They're on our YouTube, but may not be into the digital channels. So like AA0Z is Kyle.
All right. Let me see, who haven't we had on there? There might be KN6GZE.
GZE here. Haven't done much in the ham radio space yet. Connected through here via DMR. And my EchoLink doesn't work, apparently. It won't detect the audio through the microphone.
Well, you're doing fine, Ryan, just like that. And you are our new CW keyer out here, so I wanted to check in with you. And what equipment did you use to practice your CW with? Anything you built yourself?
I think it was N6CMB's radio, and then it was VLF keyer. Like this whole military keyer, it's supposed to be like, it's supposed to be mounted on a piece of wood, and then like it's inside like this military thing, and that's super interesting. But I had to like hold it down.
Hey, that's pretty good, making do with the parts you were given, and that's a true field day, right? But I heard you made it work, so congrats on that.
You're gonna reel him in.
All right, go. W6CRT.
What am I seeing right now? Holy smokes.
Real.
That's who we just heard from. That's Ryan. 12 years old.
KL6 DLF. N6CMB. I'm thinking the rest of these may have been folks off YouTube.
Back inside now. Nice job.
Right? So,
ham radio is what you're saying.
Man, I'm gonna go back inside now. Nice job. Holy smokes. Woo.
Ryan, you want to say hi to YouTube?
I don't know if he's just digital or if he's on the radio waves. How about you there, Brian?
I'm not sneaking around here. I don't know what you're talking about. Good evening all, good evening net. This is KN6VNQ, your one and only Woodland Kid. I've been kind of in and out monitoring the net. I've been doing stuff around the house, but the one essential thing I personally haven't heard it said yet, but the one thing that I use every single time with my portable shack, granted I don't have a stationary shack, would be my HF rig. Of course, it's the one thing you use, transmit, and get on the air with. I'm not sure if anyone else said it, but I mean, it's only the obvious, and if that was said, then of course, my main thing that I use all the time would be my Wolf River coils, TIA Mini. But that's really it, just my radio, my antenna, and my battery, and I'm a happy camper, so yeah, I'll be listening in and out. I'm running around the house doing stuff, so this is KN6VNQ, back to net.
Yeah, thanks for checking in, Brian. And portable, I imagine a good working antenna that's easy to be mobile, set up, and break down is going to be key, so definitely a good deal. Let's see.
Yeah, I think Justin was able to commute with us for a while, and he might be back at his QTH now, KM6ZTH.
That's what I was just checking, actually. I went over to Zoom to pull up the picture to see if I was still looking through a steering wheel or if he was at the ham shack. It looks like you're
it's the Colonel.
there, Justin. How you doing?
It's the Colonel.
KM6ZTH, we are doing well, coming in via the repeater, and yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Work around late. But as for things in the shack, I showed you all a while back my audio setup. That's kind of, obviously how I'm getting audio into all this stuff. I kind of like it. But the other thing is, my Raspberry Pi, I use the builds from KM4ACK. Does these great ham radio builds that you load on a profile, and you get amazing modes you can play with your radio. And it's fantastic. You can do FL Digi, FL Rig, WSJTX, all kinds of fun stuff. So, quite like my old Raspberry Pi.
That's not my end.
got most of that. About halfway through, the audio went way down low. But I don't know if that was me or out there.
That was
N6
Justin.
CMB.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I think we're still fighting that other net on the same frequency. We've got a little battle of the nets going on every week here.
You guys are making it up. I don't hear anything.
Yeah, when I'm up the hill at the ham shack up there, I can't compete with them. I must be close. Their signal's strong, but I'm not even hearing them tonight. But you're right, they started about 7:30, so they've been going for a couple of minutes. All right, how about if I just take late check-ins, if you want to check yourself in, and then go ahead and let us know what essential doodad do you have in your ham set.
KN6, HTB, Doug in Vacaville.
N6 HTB, Doug, how are you doing tonight? And what little essential gear do you have in your shack you always use?
Well, I'm a fairly new ham. Only been doing it for a few months. Rick, NQ60 was kind enough to give me a large U.S. map laminated. It's about 3 foot by 4 foot. I've got it up on the wall, and with a Sharpie I've been marking my HF contacts. It gives me a really good picture of how my antenna's working.
That is cool. And I'm kind of old school like that. I like the big, getting the picture of things on the wall, the big maps and so forth. So, no, that's pretty cool. Anybody else want to check in?
KN6 HLK checked in. I don't know if we heard from him. Is he still out there, Gary?
Still out here. I was on the other radio on 10 meters. The skip is really coming in tonight over.
Oh, that's good, Gary. We're trying to talk to folks about things they think in their shack are essential, or things they really love to have in their shack that they couldn't bear to be without. Is there anything in your shack like that?
Yes, sir, I do. I have a oscilloscope like the other guy was saying, and I actually have two of them, but the one I really love is the Tektronix, but the other one I could part with someday. But yeah, they work real well, and I enjoy them over.
Yeah, that's good testing gear. And it's something else to stretch into, learn how to use them and optimize your equipment with it. So one thing about this hobby, there's always another direction to go in and keep growing. So thanks for that. Anybody else out there that we have missed or that wants to check in now?
KN6 HLF, Paul and Oakley.
N6 HLF. Hey, Paul, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Using EchoLink here. A new ham since February, so I would say I don't have nearly as much gear or knowledge as you veterans or Elmers, but I would say to date, what I would like is I got a Surecom SWR power meter that I use on my antenna, and that works really good for me. And if I was to say any information that I could get on antenna use and setup and knowledge would be great, but that's my best tool as to date.
W6CRP on the 2-meter crew anti-net. And yeah, thanks for that, Paul. And there's a lot of us out here are pretty new. We do have some good Elmers with us, but shoot, I'm at, I don't know, year and a half now. So there's a lot of us that kind of came up in that era and really trying to learn stuff. So don't feel like you need to hold back. Step right in, and you can probably teach us all a little stuff too. Thanks for checking in with that. Anybody else want to check in, or others that I've missed that want to share something from the shack?
86 KWV with a quick check-in from DMR.
Ha ha ha. Bobby Lee. That's Bobby Lee.
Hey, got you from DMR, but I was kind of broken up on the call sign. Can you come again one more time slowly so I can catch that? Thanks.
Kilo Delta 6 Kilo Whiskey Victor. Bobby Lee.
There it is. There it is.
Didn't recognize the voice, Bobby Lee. How could I miss you? 86 KWV, how are you doing tonight? And what's that one piece of essential equipment in the shack you'd like to share with the group?
Well, Carlos, I was thinking about that. I was looking around the shack, and I'm like, I got overwhelmed. And, you know, honestly, after doing this last build, I you know, the guys were talking about that Anderson Power Pole crimper. I think 2 or 3 people said it. And I think that as much as I use that between the dual band bug out, the HF bug out, and the umbilical box, I kind of feel like I'm the Anderson Power Pole master now. So, you know, I kind of go with that because everything else I seem to be that horrible ham simpleton. You know, I put the antenna up and I hit the BTC and it works, and someone comes back to me, I'm all, oh, that's...
Yeah, definitely a good set of crimpers. And one question I have for the group, what do you guys use, what good tools do you have for terminating your coax cables, whether it's
There he is.
the 400 or
That was Bobby Lee.
whatever you're using? Do they make a nice, reasonably priced crimp set, or is everybody soldering everything on the ends there?
As soon as I can find some time, I'll be editing this video.
Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah,
But this is what
so
Bobby
I make a variety of BMCs
was talking about.
and a variety of types of things in my normal work. And ratcheting crimpers, getting a good frame, and you can get different die sets because depending upon the size of your coax, you may want different size crimpers for what you may not be putting on a PL259, right? You might be putting on a BMC. And different PL259s fit different coax and different strippers. So you can never have too many tools, just like you can never have too many radios.
Strippers. Why is he talking about Bambi again?
Set of the pliers, and then something that takes different heads in there depending on what you're working with.
Ratcheting crimpers with adjustable dies, or different die sets available for them. That's the key.
Alright. Yeah, see, Jason is streaming that Go box that Bobby Lee put together, which was absolutely impressive. I didn't see it live, but the videos of it are something else. If you guys are not doing it, you should go to YouTube and watch the live stream on that. Bobby Lee really did a job on this Go box. Anybody else out there want to check in?
Can work the world. UHF, VHF, HF. He's got some very cool little antennas on poles. Like I said, I need to edit this up, get the audio to it. It was a little windy that day.
Fairfield.
Let me see. Bring in the audio.
Hider in the side here, plug, and again, power out. Now this power out is when this is plugged in. Okay, so when you plug this in, it's got...
Driving everybody crazy.
KR0, EFR, Echo, Foxtrot, Robot.
0 EFR, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good, how are you?
Zoom is busy. Not a lot of folks chiming in tonight. What's that? One piece of essential equipment you have in your shack?
I use it a lot. It's self-sticking Velcro to keep all the wires all nice and neat. I usually pick up a whole bunch of it after Christmas. At the Christmas
What did he say it's called?
Just green ones that are all around the place for like $1 per package.
Velcro. What is this?
Oh, that's a hell of a good idea. Keep everything organized and up where you want it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Ah, yeah. Zip ties. Oh, yeah. Need some zip ties for sure. Can you print zip ties? That's a great question. Can you print zip ties? I mean, they're plastic.
Well, I'll cycle back through some of our coordinators.
Oh,
if they have any
Ryan says no.
comments or anything to add.
I guess there might be a strength issue.
DAL.
You can, but it'd be a waste. Yeah, zip ties are pretty cheap. I had a
KN6VAL. I was listening to Jason talk, and then I just barely heard my call sign. What did you say, Carlos?
He's echoing.
A little bit of echo.
I can do.
Again. I was just going to cycle through you guys one more time. The coordinators.
That was
if
me.
you had anything to add? I think everybody's checked in that wanted to tonight.
What IDF you don't have any?
Yeah, I'm just hanging out. I've got my co-pilot Natalie here with me.
Oh boy.
She's kind of running the shack right now. And one thing, it was you that had mentioned about being an operator for about a year and a half, and I just realized on Friday is my 1-year hammiversary. So I'm really excited about that. 1 whole year. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, good deal. There's a lot of us. Some folks think we're a lot of old veterans here, but there's kind of the whole mix from the old Elmers down to the brand new folks.
Only 4 years for me.
2 year, 3 year. So it's kind of fun. I think that's what keeps it going. Everybody's still learning and growing.
What's the food cold?
Yeah, hey, there was one mention in the chat that I wanted to bring up, and I don't know if he's on the air or not, but RC Craft, if you are, what is the reason that you cannot print a zip tie with a 3D printer? I'm curious.
That's Ryan. By the way.
So yeah, if you heard that, I would love to know, like if you had the right printer, or if you had the right plastic or something, why you couldn't do it. But now Natalie's typing. I gotta
96.
go. KN6VAL.
Very nice.
All right. WG5.
Coffee. I agree, Greg. I drink a lot of coffee to stay alive.
WG5EK. What's the question? Sorry.
Mike, stop listening to me.
Oh, I was just wrapping up. Nobody else checking in. You guys are busy behind the scenes, I think. And I was just going back through.
No, we're not. We're not messing around, Carlos.
To add before we close the net, call it a night.
The chat's kind of blowing up with 3D printing, and so I have a couple things printed off. One is a really cool cup holder, fits right in my front of my truck and my Tacoma, and then I've attached a metal, mic clip holder to that, and so it sits right there. I always have my mic available, which is kind of nice. And then I have someone mentioned knobs for radios, and I have a couple knobs that are printed with this. It's a plastic resin mixed with like sawdust, so you can sand it and stain it, and it looks really nice. I think Jason saw some of that before, but yeah, it's pretty neat. But that's the chat's kind of going 3D printing wild over here, so that's what I was gonna mention. Back to you, WG5EEK.
Yeah, thank you, sir. N6 CMB, Chris.
Hey, just going to remind everyone that you really can join Zoom and hang out with all of the really cool guys that are in there. and be part of the conversation. You don't need to play a video if you're a little shy, camera shy like Jason. You know, you can just put up a picture or nothing at all, and you can still hang out and talk with us. If we can get 25 people into Zoom, Jason gets charged double, and it'll be really fun to watch. So let's see if we can
There's
do
a paid
that.
account.
If we get 25 people into Zoom tonight and run up the bill on Jason a little bit. So
Oh, man. Gonna need some super chats.
Thank you for that. And it looks like Ham Radio.
I just washed my hair.
Chat. So go on to YouTube, Ham Radio TV, and you can get the link there if you want to jump in Zoom for a minute and keep the conversation going. Let's see, Justin, KM6ZTH, anything to add?
Well, you know, we're done with field day, and we're all sheltered in place, but you know, there's nothing saying we can't be on the air and playing and doing stuff. So I'm planning to try to do some fox hunts. So, you know, I think that'd be a fun thing to do while we're all sheltered in place.
B&Q. Here comes Brian.
And back to the KN6FAK.
All right, very good. Yeah, we're just finishing up with the repeater section, everyone. I see a few people joining us in Zoom. Feel free. We're going to hang out for, I don't know, half hour or so. I know it gets late there on the East Coast, and if it makes you feel any better, I do get up at 4 in the morning California time to go to work. But yeah, great show. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, everyone, for contributing. You know, this is only as good as everyone makes it, because there's no way I would do it if it was just me sitting here. All right, we'll be letting go of the repeater shortly and hanging in Zoom. This is KM6FAK. One more message. Good old Nick over there. You'll see him here. Let me spotlight the video. Northwest Ham Shack. He is going to be hosting this show next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So go check him out. Nick, Northwest Ham Shack, YouTube channel. Very new. Please go subscribe. And also, if you're curious what the local club is up to, our meeting is tomorrow night right here on this Ham Radio TV YouTube channel. So, you know, we were going to try to meet in Thursday, but yeah, a little human malware is still getting in our way. All right. Talk to you guys in Zoom. KM6FAK.
Thank you, everybody, for participating. This is W6CRP wrapping up the 2-meter crew anti-net. Thank you to the Baca Valley Radio Club and the W6BBR repeater letting us use and hosting us here. So thank you, and everybody have a good night. Whiskey 6 CRP clear.
Hey, Carlos, could you guys repeat everything you did for the last hour? Because I just turned my radio on.
Yeah, no problem. Hang on just a second. I'll be right back with all that.
We're going to broadcast it on a VLF, so only you will hear it.
Thanks, man. I just, you know, I missed the first hour, so if you don't mind repeating it, that'd be great. You guys have a great night. N6 VLF. Bye-bye.
Luckily, you have a repeater to listen to, so you can get it automatically. WG5EK.
Setting it all up, I think. You can always go to YouTube.
What is Fred
and watch
doing?
the recording.
Fred is in his car. Very good.
Hey, Carlos, KJ7, Oscar Tango, Quebec. I have a question for you.
Just got the ball.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I've never been in
noticing on
Zoom by the
YouTube
Netscope,
channel,
we can
I had my
actually
call
heckle
sign up
people.
there and it said QRZ misses you. Is there something I should be doing?
Oh, Mrs. You. Add your photo to QRZ, please.
Huh. I don't know. That was, did somebody post that back? Or was that kind of a auto thing?
Go ahead, Mike.
Next to your name.
Get him.
Let me see if, Jason, are you still on the radio channel?
Geek to the rescue.
That, if you don't mind, this is WG5EK.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead.
So that little website that's on the YouTube that Jason's been showing, that's running off of my node, and all that does is some really cool stuff that my friend Brandon he made that. Nice swipe. I like that. Anyway, so that little picture is what's on your QRZ.com page. So if you haven't logged in to QRZ.com, created an account, and uploaded a picture, we came up with this little sad face that says QRZ misses you with a little saggy antenna on there. So please go to QRZ.com, upload a picture, and that'll change automatically when we're doing our YouTube broadcast. Back to you. If you have any questions, please join us in Zoom or hang around on the repeater and I can answer any more questions. WG5EEK.
And then watch. I'll pop up
Nope, that answered the question. I'll get
somewhere
get
over
on
there.
and get logged in there.
How long will it
create an
take?
account and,
I don't know.
Yeah, I was going, where'd that come from? So thanks for the info there, and I'll get it taken care of. Thank you. KJ7, Oscar Tango, Quebec. Back to you guys.
Yeah, that's a really nice and helpful website for you anyway. Once you create an account, you can do free. They have, of course, increased options where you can pay, but there's a whole free section too. You can go on there and look up anybody's call sign, and it will tell you their name and their location.
There I am.
And that helps quite a bit when you're working on the air and want to see where they're at or anything about them. Or if you start using any of the logging software,
There he is.
And you have a membership
So watch, I'll end it.
to QRZ,
Is that a squirrel on your camera, or you just got
and it will
zoom?
automatically populate all of their info right
It's a
there.
dead cat.
So really useful website. They have news. They have a sales section. All kinds of stuff. But yeah, go poke around. I think you'll enjoy it. W6CRP.
KN6, okay?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've started what's called join meeting, and they're requesting an ID and a password on it.
Hey, Colonel there. So if you click the link, I'd like to think it'll take you in. Maybe you're not logged in, but the meeting ID is there in the chat. It's 810-1970-6957. You are clear to land. And password's really tricky, all lowercase, pizza. But if you make a login through Zoom, I think that link will just drop you right in there.
I got the 810-197-0670, but I didn't get the password.
All right, you're very close. Let me start over again with the meeting ID 810-1970-6957. That's the meeting ID. And password is all lowercase, and it's just the word pizza. I like to eat pizza, like the Ninja Turtles. KM6FAK.
Sure, okay. 810-197-0657.
Yep, now all of our Ruski brothers can join us, so maybe Putin will come in and say hello with his shirt off.
Well, I'll be sure to make
sure you wanted me to take my shirt off?
No,
please
my wife
don't.
on Zoom on Wednesday morning, and she has a group that she joins, but I'm familiar with Zoom, but I'm not, I don't know the numbers that I ID with, so anyway, thank you very much.
Not a problem, Colonel. Good to hear you out here.
Yeah, jump on there, because remember, we're trying to get up over 25.
What's happening, Fred?
All right, I'm going to turn the radio down. Feel free to unmute yourself. Let me get the screen going.
Feel free to unmute yourself as long as you're not listening to YouTube.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, Fred, unmute yourself really quick. I got a question for you.
All right, go.
How's it going, man?
Going fine.
Are you on your lunch break?
No, my son does his symphony practice up here at the school, so I'm just picked him up. There he is.
Hello.
Hi.
You're usually working around the time we start the anti-net, right?
Yeah, I just had an early shift today, 8 to 4:30.
If there's a time where you have an early shift on a week, would you be willing to? Sorry to put you on the spot, but I was thinking about this today. Would you be willing to put a little something on about satellite work?
Yeah, I could do that.
I think that would be really cool, and a lot of people would enjoy it. I know I would. But just on a night you're free, maybe text me or something during the week and let me know.
All right.
On a week that you know you're going to be free, and we could put something together.
All right.
And then we could do our Fred impersonation contest.
Yeah.
Maybe you won.
Chris would win.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of guys practicing now. They're getting really good at it. I started something bad.
I mean, I do a pretty good Mitch. I got to drive, guys.
All right.
Hey, so I did. I couldn't have done this earlier because technically it's a recording, and I don't think the FCC likes that. But let me share my screen. Share screen, and right here, so everyone in Zoom can see. And then let me go here.
Gary made it in, guys.
I see that. What's happening, Gary?
My background's messed up.
I see that.
I got the background of my wife's background.
So
my computer won't do it right.
So real quick, let me show you a video, just under a minute. This is Eric. He actually went up camping. He's really into camping, and I wanted to share this during our Who Was Active, who was out there doing HF. But like I said, Eric didn't pipe in. If Eric would have piped in, I maybe would have played it. But here's a recording of Eric. So take it away, Eric.
Morning, folks. This is K6GYX up here at Lower Sunset Lake off of Highway 88. Doing the 13 colonies for the 4th of July on 20 meters. Out here I have my ground stake there. I got 50 foot of coax going up to a single line dipole, which is 10 to 80. And you can see the ladder line there, that's a 30 meter. And then the coils over here are the 40 and 80 coils going down to that tree. You guys, this is a beautiful place to be. A little bit mosquito-y last night, but I can deal with it. Full moon, it was a great time. You guys have a great day and a happy 4th.
All right. Well, how cool is that? Thank you, Eric, for sending that to me. It is tricky to share these things over the airwaves, but let me get everyone back in here. So I muted everyone. Feel free to unmute yourself if you have things to say, and we'll just kind of open it up and do an open
What a cool
forum.
spot. That was a beautiful area.
Yeah.
And I think, Brian, you're on, right? B&Q? There you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
I heard you the other day, you were headed into the city. You were going to activate a park?
Yeah.
I was working, so I was kind of in and out trying to catch you. I didn't end up catching you, but how did that go?
Let's see. Day 1, the 6th, I can't remember what day that was, but failed POTA, Parks on the Air. Dan would know. It was the Woodland Opera House. I never would have thought an opera house that made a Parks on the Air. But 8 contacts on that one. And the second day, I actually went back the day after. And successful. 13 contacts on that second day.
Nice.
Furthest I got, I believe, was New Mexico, maybe. I mean, in the city. And 40 meters, I had a noise floor or noise level of about a S5. And 20, it was actually about a S2, but I don't think conditions were great because not a single contact on 20. So 40 was the way to go.
You know, I know that they have a new curriculum in schools, but last I heard, New Mexico wasn't one of the 13 colonies.
And Brian, did you?
It's that new math.
Brian, did you figure out how to do an ADIF? I was trying to tell you that the other day. I was just leaving work, and we had our friend the Jammer on.
I sorta. I downloaded a Hamlog on my phone, that 99-cent app.
Okay.
And I created my own different logbooks for POTA because they have little templates that you could use.
Right.
And it'll convert it for you, and you can send it out as an email directly. So I went ahead and sent out the ADIF file to the section coordinator. And shoot, he got back to me in like 5 minutes saying, just give me your part number and I'll do it for you.
Great. Yeah. That's what I was trying to let you know is, a lot of times when you do these special advanced Parks on the Air soda contest is they want some kind of file format. And I want to say almost all your loggers are going to give you that ability to export. I prefer a real computer, but iPads work, cell phones work, all of that work. And it sounds like you figured it out, so right on.
Right. Real successful, and I'm a happy camper.
Good deal.
Hey, can we help maybe Gary real quick? I think he's having issues with his virtual background. Do you want to turn that off and maybe have a better picture?
Well, I don't think I know how to turn it off.
So you're using the website app, right? Or the computer desktop app?
Okay.
So if you go to the bottom left corner of your screen, you should see a mute button and then a stop video. But there's a little arrow next to the stop video. If you click the up arrow on that, there's a little thing that says choose virtual background. And then you can go there and then turn it to none, set it to none, and then close that window.
Yeah, choose virtual background. Where is choose virtual background? I don't see that. I stopped the video, but I don't know where.
Yeah, you don't want to stop the video.
Stop the video. There's an arrow to the right of stop video. It's a little up arrow or caret.
I see it.
Yeah, so click on choose virtual background. A window will pop up, and then you want to scroll up on that little bar and
choose virtual background.
Yep, on the top left, it should say none.
Oh, okay, I can do that. Okay, I will do none.
Yep, and then just close that, and then restart your video.
Don't do a none.
Do a none.
Okay.
He's coming back. There he is.
There we go.
Now we can see
Gary, look. This is the first time I've seen Gary. Very good.
First time. Well,
your shack is looking nice.
You're looking at the inside of the wine cellar right now.
Oh, well, geez. Where's our invite?
Yeah, where's the wine?
Well, it's next door in the other room.
It's not in your belly?
Move over there.
I got a glass over here.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
And you're in Martinez, right? You're in Martinez, Gary?
Yes, I am.
And you served a lot of years in the military, is that correct?
I served 4.5 years. I was there 2 years in Nam.
Ooh, man. Well, that's probably an equal of 20. I mean, geez. 4 years in Nam, I would assume, is like dog years, times 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I did 6 years of the Air Force, and it was okay. Some idiots took some airplanes and flew them into some buildings a year after I enlisted, so that became interesting. But definitely was nothing to compare to Vietnam for sure.
Yeah, well, at the days I was in, I was TAD on the Hancock, and I watched about 4 planes come in and crash.
Ooh, now the Hancock, is that an aircraft carrier?
It is, the USS Hancock, and then the ones we steamed with many times was the Ticonderoga, and that had the. You remember John McCain?
Yeah.
And he lit off his jets on deck and dropped a few rockets behind the plane behind him, and it had about. Quite a few people lost their lives that day.
Oh no,
that's not good. Well, yeah. What was that guy McCain thinking?
Well, he was a hot pilot. He did a hot flash on his jet engine. That he was kind of a cocky guy. But
what's a hot flash?
He was also shot down in Vietnam. He was spent 5 years over in Vietnam, and the prisons over there.
And so, what's a hot flash?
He hits the afterburner too easy over.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure everyone can track what you're saying.
Yeah. They do that once in a while. They get a little cocky and they want to exercise the engines much too early.
Ah, all right. So who else do we have in here? How about, is it Rhett? Is that correct? K4MRB. Where are you calling from, man? Great to see you. Great to have you.
Hey there. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm a new ham, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I ain't here, so.
No, man, you're in the right place.
You're doing it well.
Yeah. New ham. I just got licensed a couple of weeks ago at the general level, and I have a Kenwood D74. Playing around with that, some of the digital modes, and yeah, enjoying it so far.
Man, that's really good. I mean, so you went from tech to general right away?
Yeah, I studied for the tech, got that 1 week, and then started studying for the general the following week, and did well on that as well. So yeah.
Well, that's huge.
I was tired after that, though. I was tired. I'm giving myself a break before the before the extra.
Going to take 2 weeks before the extra.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did. When I first got licensed, I did it all in a month, and just blew through it, and kind of regret it. You know.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, because you don't learn through practice. You're too busy studying to pass the test, as opposed to enjoying it as you take those steps. You know what I mean? So just in hindsight, I wish I hadn't done that, but that may just be the way I learn versus the way other people learn. So.
Okay, yeah, I kind of get that. I mean, ultimately, now you're able to start setting up an antenna, an HF radio, and for me, that's exactly where I learned. You know, I mean, I don't practice that many things I learned in the test. I mean, a little bit I took away from it, but it's really hands-on, getting on the local repeaters, and just hearing what everyone else is struggling with, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, it's I learned a lot about what not to do. I learned boundaries and studying that quick. And I have a background in electronics. I was in the Navy a long time ago as a data systems technician, so some electronics background. And yeah, I wanted to get to the point to where I was able to do things legally, but yeah, understanding the boundaries and not getting into, you know, something I shouldn't be. So yeah.
Right. So there was a lot of talk in the chat about 3D printing. Mm-hmm. Does anybody, I've got a ton of experience on 3D printing. In fact, hold on 1 second. See that robot in the closet?
Holy smokes.
Yeah, that was all 3D printed.
Oh, wow.
What's her name?
I'm sorry?
What's her name?
What's the robot?
Yeah, is that a female?
No. Actually, it has workable hands and all kinds of stuff. But so one of the things I enjoy is taking that 3D printing to antenna design. Because if there's something I need, I can design it myself and print it, as opposed to going and trying to find something that matches what I need, right? But here's a couple 3D printed parts for actually this is for a, what is that called? Fiberglass mask.
Oh.
And it fits perfectly over the fiberglass mask, and you're not going to find anything that slides down on that has the bolt holes where you need it, and this particular hole where it needs to be to hold another, you know, part of your mask. This is a bigger version of it, but in cases for Raspberry Pis and whatever, but just being able to design what you need and have exactly what you need, as opposed to trying to make something else work when you're not working with something that's, you know, it's stuff that's all bought and pieced together, and it's you never have exactly the component that you need, right? So
You tried to post a link to your site in the chat. It didn't work. If you can post it in the chat here in Zoom, I can try to post it to YouTube.
Yeah, it's just OklahomaHamRadio.com.
Okay.
Oh, right. Yeah. You just started a channel.
Yeah.
Awesome. You were down there with Jason.
Right. I went down and spent field day with them. But I've been a programmer and everything for 30 years. And now I'm in VP of IT for a company and all that. So I get bored sitting through meetings and have to have some other hobbies. So the last probably 6 years I've been into robotics. And obviously 3D printing is very large, very big in robotics. And then got back into amateur radio. The thing I can say is when you do print, you want to print with ABS, not PLA. PLA actually is easier to print, but PLA actually has an effect on radio waves where ABS does not. And ABS stands up to the weather a lot better than PLA. PLA is water soluble. ABS is acetone soluble. So the nice thing about ABS is you could take these two pieces and mount them together by taking acetone and putting it along that ridge and just holding those together for about 25 seconds, and they'll be bonded. And they'll be bonded stronger than the rest of that PLA or that ABS print was. So it is, like I said, it's tougher to print. Your printer has to be
high temperature,
much more temperature controlled. You have to have a hotbed that's able to get up to a decent temperature and things like that. You want your print area that you're printing in to be enclosed. Things like that, ABS, PLA, you don't have to worry about it. ABS, you do. But
so without asking what's the best 3D printer question, what's it kind of cost to get sort of at a place where you can be printing some parts that are useful? What do you, cost of admission kind of thing to get really, basic entry?
So because you have to realize what I bought was to print 24 hours a day for about 7 months straight. Non-stop, wake up in the middle of the night, change out filament so the print keeps going type stuff to be able to print the robot I have in the closet and things like that. I bought two FlashForge Creator Pros. They were about $800, and I got them because they were enclosed and I knew I wanted to print ABS. You can get printers for $300 now that are just as good as the $800 printers were 5 years ago, right? So the nice thing about these is they've lasted me, right? It's like anything. You spend a little bit more and it lasts forever, or it lasts a lot longer. There is maintenance involved in it. There is tuning involved in it. It's not just it's like ham radio. It's not just hey, go buy this, turn it on, and it works. There is some tweaking and adjusting and so on and so forth. So,
still, that's far better than I thought you were going to say for kind of what it would cost.
Yeah. What you can get for $800 now for a 3D printer is pretty impressive. So now, for example, a lot of those printers have automatic bed leveling. So your bed has to be level so that when you print, it's level and you don't have a high spot that doesn't adhere to the base that you're printing on. Now, most printers come with automatic bed leveling. 5 years ago, that was just a beta thing that some people were, actually it was more like an alpha thing that some people were messing with. The filament has gotten a lot better than what it was before. You don't want to buy the dirt cheap filament, because if you do, you get very frustrated with it and so on and so forth. So Matter Hacker makes some decent filament, but the one piece of advice I can give you that would help you out more than anything is there's a piece of software called Simplify 3D, and that is worth every penny. It's a one-time purchase for as many printers as you want to use it on. And I think up to 2 computers you can use it on. I've used it on Linux, Windows, Mac, even BSD, and it's worked great on all of them. But it will speed up your prints. It will make your prints better. That's just the site right there. It will make your prints better. It is night and day difference between using something like CUDA or some of the free software. Everybody I tell about this starts off with the free software and eventually goes to this software. You can save yourself a lot of headaches by just getting that software from the beginning and go. So.
Jason, why does your station always cost me money?
What's going on? Huh?
Every time I get on ham radio TV, I end up spending more money. I think I just spent $1,200.
Oh my gosh, you're getting a 3D printer, Chris?
Come on, after that pitch, how could I not want to get one?
He is building some cool stuff.
You guys know Good Game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually this robot and a bunch of other stuff that I've got. And one of my 2 3D printers are being donated to his STEM program because funding got cut. We just have to figure out how we're going to get it all down there to him. So, but
yeah, Good Game Ham Radio is another YouTube channel for those that aren't aware. He's also a teacher, and he's doing big things for sure.
I see a couple of new folks out there too, Jason.
Who's that guy, Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff, are you related to Chris? What's happening, Jeff? Where are you calling in from?
We got a doppelganger here.
You talking about me?
I am. How's it going, Jeff?
Doing all right, man. How you doing?
Yeah, great to have you.
I'm Jeff, November 4 Papa Oscar Delta. X Kilo Charlie 4 Papa Oscar Delta. I just changed the suffix.
Oh.
Or the prefix, rather. Maybe January. So I figured it's about time. I had my call for 30 years, so.
Wow. Well, that's
my novice call.
That's a big change. So whereabout are you in Foreland? Because I know that covers a few states.
So I grew up in Orlando, just south of Orlando. And in February, I moved to Knoxville. So I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. Haven't got to see much of it, though.
I was born in Nashville, Tennessee.
I haven't been there yet. Haven't got to go anywhere. Everything's locked down. I moved here and then boom, everything got locked down.
Kind of a bummer where you just move and then you're locked in the house.
Yeah, no, can't go to the ham radio club meetings. Can't. So
man,
that's exactly what happened to me too. I moved back home and we were so excited, and then we got locked into our house forever. So it happens.
But yeah, I've been here, came here in February, and yeah, I mean it's been great. My roommate looks at me strange every time I say, "Hey, can I put some wires up in the trees?" But
yeah, so moving, did that help you or help your case with your yard or size of property? Because I know as hams, that's one thing we can always hope for is our next, location where we live will be more friendly for large antennas.
Well, not yet. Yeah, he kind of balked when I said that. I'm like, okay. Well, and I can't find my my antenna tuner controller cable and jumper cable for my 897, my Yaesu. Don't know where they went, but So I was just looking at replacing them, DX Engineering or something like that. I think they're like $10 or $11. So.
Well, your roommate needs to watch Stranger Things, you know, because I believe the last season, season 3, they saved essentially the world with ham radio.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got the ham radio, and then I also got the D&D stuff. So, you know, I'm covered for Stranger Things.
Yeah. Well, not to mention, I mean, that's the best way to find a date. I mean, your roommate obviously isn't aware of this.
Is that a ham radio or D&D? Which one is the?
Yeah. I'm a nerd.
You're in the right place. You found your home. This is a safe place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my computer is hot.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
I was commenting on that on the YouTube.
Well, let's see. It's a comfortable 90 degrees in my shack right now in Northern California. I've got a few fans on. And, you know, I deal with it pretty decently. But the computer, on the other hand, is like, whoa, what are you doing?
Right.
I'm driving 4 monitors right now.
We're cooling off over here, Jason. It should be coming your way. We're down to 83 in here right now. So
okay.
When we were talking about essential gear in the shack, I cannot believe that Jason didn't talk about his 14 different monitors. Like,
yeah.
That's not essential. That's you have a problem. You want to be like NASA. With a budget. That's the difference
now,
between me and NASA.
If all my monitors were the same size, that would be great. That's the big problem. I got 4 monitors, and not any 2 of them are the same size. So
I need to get a better arm because I realize part of the show everyone's staring up my nose because I've got 2 fairly high and then 2 are a good level, so I need to get them a little bit lower. So who else?
You're getting to the point where you need a dedicated room, I think.
Yeah, well, you know what? My wife might let me in the house when I retire. I'm thinking maybe that'll be okay. Nah, it's the kids. They're going to bed. They came out to say goodbye and they're messing around a little bit. So, how about you, Dan? How are you? KF6 Triple H.
I'm not doing too bad. I got the air conditioner set nice and low, so it's cooling here. Of course, the wife's not happy if it's too hot, so I got to pay for it, but at least I'm comfortable. And then I'm assuming it's allergies or something, so I'm still running through stuff, but I did get out on my bicycle for a ride today, so everything hurts again.
Oh, well, very good.
Getting all the stink, so it even hurts to sit here.
Bert has a little one with him.
Pardon?
My kids just went to bed. You missed them.
There you go. Got the family out there checking out what you're doing, Bert.
Oh yeah, they always, every time I'm on here, they're like, "Can I go on? I just want to see."
I know. Let them on, man. It's a family show. Kinda.
Absolutely.
Hey, Bert.
Hey, how you doing?
Are you Filipino?
Yes, I am.
Okay, whereabouts in Philippines?
My parents are up in the northern part from not Luzon. I forget where it is.
Northern Luzon?
Yeah, part of Luzon or something like that. But it's like,
Yeah. Well, my wife is from Manila.
Oh, yeah?
My wife is Manila. She graduated from the University of the Philippines with a master's, and she held master's over here from Berkeley too. So you guys, she's trying to teach me Tagalog.
That's something I still don't know. I mean, even my parents were like trying to talk to me or whatever with it. It's like trying to learn another language, but it was something I never got into. But I mean, it's still Toronto that I'm listening to, but Tagalog, I have no idea what that says.
Yeah, it's kind of complicated, but I love it.
Absolutely. So, Red, is that a guitar or bass behind you? I'm not that great to tell.
Probably one of each.
Okay.
Yeah. I see now. That's a acoustic guitar and a Fender jazz bass behind me. Yeah.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah.
Played bass for several years. Played in some bands, and yeah, still mess around with it a bit.
Very cool.
Red, he learned guitar for a week, and then a week later he learned bass.
Pretty much.
And then he got his general. Man, look out. That guy's got some brains.
Man.
Madison Square Garden. But the lockdown's got me all messed up. So.
That a real Ovation?
That is. That's a Ovation Elite from about 1984, I think. American made.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some good eyes.
That is, yeah. Good catch.
I had the Applause, which was the cheap handmade or machine-made version. I couldn't afford the fancy, nice one, but...
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I financed that when I was about 20-some years old, and finally paid it off, so figured I'd keep it.
Between guitars and ham radios, we're pretty much broke.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to call it a night. I got some stuff going on here. My wife needs a computer to go work, so I want to say 7.3 and 88s. And
88s, Mike.
And so you guys, 88s.
We'll see you later, Mike.
Yeah, I love you guys. Take
You can
care.
tell we're from San Francisco area.
All right, Mike.
Good night, Mike.
All right,
I'm gonna check out myself. So you guys have a good night. We'll see you later.
Carlos, great job tonight, Carlos.
Good job.
Very good on that.
I like the under the radio look, Carlos. I'm seeing some knobs here and a speaker.
I switched to the other computer, so
I feel like I'm looking through a nanny cam, and you're not aware that we're there.
my speakers in the Kenwood there.
Is that held up with screws or mounting tape?
Well, that's definitely screwed in.
This is a clean show, Colonel. We're not showing any hardware.
Yeah. All right, you guys have a good night.
All right, good night. Hey, so how about Ryan? Ryan, you are our youngest ham. It used to be Brian. Sorry, buddy, but let's hear from Ryan. How the heck are you? What's new? You're in HRO. Are you in HRO right now?
No, this is this is a picture before they closed down to walk-in traffic.
Man,
I took a picture of the IC 7610 back here.
Is that what Santa's bringing?
I don't know.
Well, I'll let your mom and dad know. Awesome.
We're going to be 7,300 brothers. Ryan's going to get, he's joining the 7,300 club now.
Yeah, that goes on sale twice a year, right? So, I mean, that's got to be coming around close to Christmas time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really know.
All right, so then...
It's either 7,300 or 891.
Whoa!
Well, the 891 is very
891.
affordable. But you don't have a built-in sound card, so sometimes that can be challenging.
I don't need that, though, because I'm not doing digital.
Yeah,
your age.
We might have a Yaesu convert after all. I like it.
Have you guys been checking out some of these, this FT8 call? Is it FT8 call that everybody's
No, what's that?
crazy about now?
What's that,
JS8
Chris?
call.
JS8, yeah, was renamed.
JS8 call, that's what it's called, right? Yeah. That looks like, that looks pretty cool. I was checking out some videos this week on that.
Yeah, played around a bit with that.
It's just a program.
Well, yeah, it's sort of like FT8, but you can actually chit chat. So it's kind of funny, right? You put in your text message, your line, and you put in like 3 words, and it tells you it'll take like 4 minutes to transmit.
Oh wow!
It's not that bad, but it's pretty slow, right? But there's like modes where you can speed it up, but you actually can like have a little bit of a conversation and not just auto exchange messages.
But are you keyed up on HF for like minutes at a time?
It's essentially just like FT8. It does like either 6-second or 15-second, transfers back and forth, like transmit 15, listen 15.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
50% duty cycle, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, on that on the printing thing, I know you're the kind of guy that's probably going to go out and buy a 3D printer tomorrow. So I just
I'm surfing on the other monitor right now.
I have very limited experience with it, but I have a friend who's up here, and he's got a 3D printer, and he has the capability of printing ABS, and he was kind of saying the same thing as far as that being kind of the cat's meow as far as the right product to use when you're making things as far as strength and durability and all that stuff. But the knob, I don't remember the name for the other one, and feel free to chime in, David, on that the other type of plastic that you can use.
There's a whole lot of them, but PLA.
The PLA
most common.
Yeah, that was what he printed. So he printed me a knob for that Xiegu G90. Has this little itty bitty, because it's a tiny radio, right? It's a little QRP or almost QRP 20-watt radio.
You're a bigger knob than that.
I'm a bigger knob than that for sure. And so it's got this tiny little knob that's really hard to turn with your finger. And he built a replacement knob for it. He printed it off for me. And it took like maybe 30 minutes. And there was even a couple little spots where we were like, hey, we could modify this and fix it. He did that. And then we made like the finger hole a little bit bigger. And it turned out fantastic. And it was the coolest thing, because it made me realize like how many times I've walked around my garage, which is always a mess, looking for what can I like cannibalize to make something. Just kind of like what David was saying. Like I will go through and I'll tear apart an entire appliance just to get a part that I think is going to work for whatever I'm going to build, and so I end up with junk everywhere.
Where's the picture of this said knob?
Huh? Oh, you want to see it?
Have you shared it on Discord?
No, I'll go.
Yeah, DIY.
I'll pull the radio out and I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it.
Okay. Yeah, by the way, guys, we have a Discord. I mean, it's probably not the coolest Discord out there, but we chit-chat. All right. It's pretty cool. I mean, you know, a lot of us are in there. We've got some local repeater stuff going on. Trying to, you know, sharing pictures. You know, if you want to share any pictures or videos, I should make a portion of it, like the 2-meter crew net. You know, if someone wants to share something for the net, they could drop it in there, and then I know to go pick it up. Maybe I'll have to look at that. So let me, I'll drop a link in chat.
We'll see if it'll let me do it. So this is the factory knob on it. It's very small. Right, and then this is the aftermarket knob on the radio. So you can see it looks like a standard VFO knob. And so you have the ability to put your finger on it and twist it, whereas the other one, it's much smaller in size comparison. So just a simple little project, but it worked out really well. And it kind of made me want a 3D printer, but he offered to print me kind of anything that I wanted. He's like, yeah, if you want it, just send me the file on it and we can print it up. It's no problem.
Yeah. Actually, if you go out, before you buy that printer, go out to Thingiverse and just search for anything. I don't care what it is. And you'll find something. You'll find somebody else that's had the exact same issue that's designed the part for you, and you can print it. For example, I needed what were they? Guy tensioners. I found those and 3D printed those. Guy rope tensioners. I found a guy rope spreader. I found, you know, stuff like that. And what I couldn't find, I was able to design and build. The software that I would start off with designing stuff is called Fusion 360, and it's free for the first year. After that, you can, you know, you'll understand what you're doing well enough to decide whether or not you want to keep paying for Fusion 360 or go with one of the free products like Blender or something like that. Yeah, that's really good software.
Yeah, I picked up a 3D printer, like I think it was late 2016 when I bought it, and it was like it was the kit. It was like an ANET A8. I mean, it was like $200 at the time when I bought it. Yep. And I had to build it all and everything like that. And it's one of those ones where it's like it could cause a fire because of, you know, it's cheaply made and everything like that. But I've had it now for a while, and it's great how it works.
There, I missed it. This is
Hey Bert, have you been cleaning up that boat anchor that you grabbed during field day?
I've been trying. I took off one of the knobs and I was like, man, I worked on this for like 20 minutes just to get that dirt off that one knob.
It's going to take a little while. That thing has seen a pretty nasty old smoker's shack, I think.
Yeah. I mean, did you see the pictures that were on Discord that I had of it?
Yeah, it looks the same. You know, I got a amplifier out of that same shack, and I'm fighting the same thing. And you know, it's funny that Kevin made the same comment. It looks like dust, like you can just blow it out of there, but it's like it's not. It's attached by 20 years of smokers.
What channel did you put that in for Discord?
I put it in the chit chat.
Okay, let me try to get that up here. Here we go. What? It's kind of small.
But it wasn't taking too much to get it off. Just a little bit of elbow grease, and you got to spray something on. Simple green can work really good on it. You know, taking that off. I wouldn't want to do it on all the electrical components, but for the big case and the knobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. I took a old paintbrush and a little shop vac and started to try to dust it off, kind of thing. So it's like, oh man, that stuff is not coming off.
Yeah, I mean, go at it with the electric clean. Get it in there and blast it on out. It'll take it off.
I mean, at least I was looking at it pretty close, and the capacitors aren't busted like I've seen on YouTube and stuff like that. It looks pretty clean as far as nothing looks broken or anything. I kind of like looked inside to see if the tubes were clear and stuff like that. I mean, it looked pretty all right.
No, that thing was in use till fairly recent, and just was in a smoker's den.
Yep. I mean, I don't know what it is because of the stuff just drips on it. I don't know what it is because of the
nicotine. The nicotine builds up on it.
You use like contact cleaner, electrical parts cleaner, and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's what I'd use.
I bought some of that CRC. I'm going to try that out. And then some, I think called Purple Power or something like that. I bought that, but I don't know. It's scary.
Yeah, I'm using the CRC stuff on motorcycles and cars, and whenever I want to clean electronics, and stuff works great. I don't know about spraying it inside the case like that, but
oh yeah, you can go to town with it. That stuff, you can spray it, and it's going to evaporate out. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to help clean it, you know. So feel free to really go at it. Jason, you're a professional in this field.
I don't do a whole lot of cleaning per se, but yeah, what everyone mentioned is ideal. It's just, I hear you, Bert. It kind of is a pain. Where'd you guys get that from? Fairly local?
Yeah, it was. I got it from a guy who bought it from an older ham, and who had the pair. He had the amplifier and that transceiver, and the guy didn't want to break them up when he sold them because I just wanted to buy the amplifier. So I bought both, and then Bert was looking for a boat anchor for his small Boston whaler, so I sent it over to him.
What was the amp? What kind of amp is it?
The amp's a Heathkit HP 200.
Okay.
Was that B or P?
It's HB, right?
Yeah.
Am I getting the lingo correct? No, SB 200. I don't know why I always say HB, but it's SB 200. And then I sent an SB 201 up to the Pacific Northwest, up to the Northwest Ham Shack, via Kevin's shop. So it's making a quick stop there, getting it once over, and then it's heading up to the Northwest Ham Shack.
Then we can finally hear him.
Well, maybe, yeah. You know,
maybe you'll finally hear me, and maybe it'll come. Maybe it'll come with a Motorola next to it, so that my Baofeng doesn't break down in the middle of an anti-net.
Is that what it was? That was creating the echo?
No, the echo. So the only time I get an echo, and this happens a lot. This is why I'm not restreaming your stream every week. Is because you're playing the repeater over the audio on Zoom, and that my mixer only has basically 3 inputs, and so my computer. So anytime I try to mess with it, I end up feeding it on both sides, and it echoes. So I have to turn everything off other than just the radio, unless I'm the only one controlling the radio via a computer, if that makes sense.
Well, yes, I remember in the 80s, Egon warned us not to cross the streams.
You know, I can't believe you guys aren't hearing this other net that's on at the same time.
I've got to
turn my squelch up to like S9 to not hear them. So if I wasn't getting like plus 20 from the repeater, I'd be having a lot more issues. I'm
hearing it here in Oklahoma. It's crazy. No, I'm just
that is some tropo-ducting.
I'll see y'all later.
All right, David, take care.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it, man.
No problem. Take it easy.
Yeah, hopefully we see you next week.
I'll give it a shot.
Over on Nick's channel.
Yeah, it'll be on Northwest Ham Shack.
Okay. Okay, cool. 73, guys.
73.
Yeah, 73.
Check out too, guys.
All right, Gary.
This week.
All right. Next time, bring wine for all of us.
Have fun, guys. Be careful.
Oh, Dan. All right, Dan. Take care.
So, another question I've got that's important is Jason's been wrenching on his Jeep and hasn't put a single radio in it. I'm getting ready to pull his hand card here.
Oh, my gosh. All right. So, the wife is getting slightly annoyed in that we got it to tow it behind our RV. You know, so it's like, okay, let me figure out the Jeep. I still need to get it smogged, which is fine. Check engine lights off. And so now I've been, doing research about how to, they call it towed, flat towing.
Flat tow.
Yeah. Behind the RV. And I think I'm over $2,000 I've spent. So
on just that portion of it.
Yeah. I kind of blew my radio fund because I did find a tow bar for fairly cheap on Craigslist, but they retail for $800-900. I found one for $150. Hopefully it doesn't break. But you got to get a brake controller. That's about $1,000. And then you got to get a light kit. That's $100. And the Jeep is higher than the RV, so I need a hitch offset. I need to go up 8 inches, so that's $100. What am I missing? Safety cables. I mean, it's endless. It's like, wow. And, I kind of get to buy it because we want to do this. But, yeah, so I'm a little short on... I need another stimulus check. Is this second one going to happen? What's going on?
I could send you what do I have here? I got a Kenwood TM-221A 2-meter only radio from like the 70s if you want. It works great if you want to borrow it.
Let's just send them all our Bofangs. I'll send you a Bofang.
I'll send a mag mount.
I'll put them all in the dash.
I got a mag mount on its way, buddy.
I'll figure it out. Now maybe I'll just put the 991A in there, and I'll get the 7300 and the 9700 in the shack.
Dash mounted.
Yeah. Right on the roll bar, right there, hanging like a trucker with my, I'll get the microphone hanging like a trucker.
Yeah, you got to have it with the bungee cord on one side and then the cable on the other, right? So,
and then don't forget. I'm not hearing myself. That's interesting.
We can hear you okay.
Well, I thought I was applying an FX, but that's weird. Anyways. Am I sounding different?
No.
Okay.
Are you trying to get fancy again?
Well, I turned a knob. Normally it works, but
Turn the knob.
It always comes back to knobs on this channel, it seems.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I have to do something like this. Yeah. I need a new mixer board too. This one's getting crunchy. I don't know if you guys heard that last show. It's getting a little crunchy.
What kind of Jeep do you have?
What's that, Rhett?
What model Jeep do you have?
Oh, yeah. So I've been a Jeep guy a lot of years and had a lot of the different 2-letter acronyms. And so most recently, the family and I got a 2008 4-door JK, the Wrangler. Okay. And before that, I had a 2007 two-door. I had a YJ. I had a CJ. I had an XJ, and I just went about 5 or 6 years of a dry spell, and with the RV and kind of our lifestyle, our kids are getting a little bit older. We got 2 little girls, 7 and 9 now, and man, I was missing a Jeep. But it's a hobby, because I bought one with 150,000 miles. Everything was original. The wires, everything said Mopar. I don't think it was serviced at a dealership. So I went through it all and did it last weekend.
Right. Yeah, I've got a 2016. If you haven't seen it, check out Vector Off-Road. They have a mounting system that mounts to the dash fairly easily and gives you a lot of different mounting options. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
If you look at the JK, and it shows you some bars that mount on top of the dash, and so if you look at the one on the top left, or any of them really, it should give you like an example, but the top left bar, the actual product. There you go.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, different year, but gives you, take a look at that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And essentially you can mount like all sorts of 67 designs and different types of mounts.
Whoa, look at this picture.
Dash. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. I've just got one of those ordered and hoping to get it in the next week or so.
Right on. Yeah, as far as Jeeps go, I think I was hanging on this for a while, wasn't I? Whoops. Yeah, Jeeps and ham radio and getting off-road, overlanding, four-wheeling. Overlanding is a new term. When I was doing it more, it was just called four-wheeling or wheeling, and now it's called overlanding, I think. But it definitely plays hand in hand with radio, I think.
Right, yeah. That's actually what got me into ham radio. I did what everyone else did. I snagged the Baofeng and thinking that I'd use it on the trail. And it sat in a drawer for a couple of years and never really used it. So, but yeah, that was kind of the entry point.
Chris, what are you doing? Chris is trying to get me a radio in the Jeep, aren't you? Oh my gosh, Chris, you're crazy. Thank you, man.
Gotta get the Jeep fun going.
Gotta have a radio and everything, man.
Oh yeah. Well, typically my favorite thing is, I don't know about you guys, but the wife, she's not that impressed with the radio business. The kids, they kind of think it's cool. They know my call sign and all that. But for the most part, we're listening to music, we're chit-chatting. So the radio is mostly fun when you're by yourself. But once I get somewhere and I'm going to spend the night, that's where I really kind of dig in and I pull it out on either a picnic table or foldable table, put up the buddy pole, or recently, Chris got the DX Commander. That thing looks way cool to bring out camping. But that's where I really start to enjoy myself out in the woods with, S1, S2 noise floors.
We were out riding this past weekend and had a guy break down. It's a road called Mines Road in Livermore. It's a great goat trail to go ride. It's really cool. But one of the guys, lost his ability to charge a battery, eventually couldn't get the bike running anymore. And he was right in like the no cell zone. So, we're basically like riding out far enough to make cell calls and try to find tow trucks and riding back in to talk to him. And I'm like, this has got to end. Like, we need a couple of guys with ham radios on their bikes so we can, stretch it out a little bit. There were some guys with CDs, but they weren't going to make the distance that they needed to talk.
Did you have an HT with you, Chris?
I did, but no one else did, so I couldn't chat with any of them. I could have tried a repeater and gotten out, probably to someone non-bike related. But we kind of had it under control. But it made me think, like, I got to get set up a little bit better.
Jeez. Did someone have AAA?
Yeah, he did. And that was part of the reason we had to do the in and out because, we had to get his AAA numbers before they would send anybody and all that kind of stuff. So,
got it. Yeah, I just became a member since I bought a Jeep.
It's paid for itself for me many times over the years, so I'd always keep a keep a AAA membership.
Yeah, that and the DMV. That's kind of what I was going for. Is I wanted to get into the DMV, not the DMV, but get into the AAA, take care of the title transfer.
It's worth it for that alone.
Yeah, they're really nice.
It's actually worth it for the gold one to get the towing service, because then you get 100 miles a day kind of thing, and you can use it like 4 times. And if you need to go more than 100 miles and you use it each day kind of thing, you can go 400 miles.
This is the second guy I've helped out in recent past. One thing, this is kind of random for the channel, but if you do need to get towed nowadays, keep in mind they're probably not going to let you ride in a tow truck. So you're going to probably need an Uber and a tow truck if you need to get picked up, even if it's AAA.
Is that because of the whole thing going on?
Yep. Yeah, they don't want you in the cab with the driver.
Yeah, it's hard to do 6 feet there, huh? Mask or not.
Yep.
That's a bummer. Yeah. Who knows where this is going? Kind of new news, off subject again. Why not? This is the after party. My kids, their school is going back 4 days a week, 2 hours each day. What? How is that worth it? Anyways, we're looking at homeschooling.
How does that lower the risk?
Same thing.
If you go, right?
It's crazy, right? Yeah, so they're going to do an AM PM, and the way they're breaking it up is they're only going to be spending 2 hours in classroom. There's kind of like overlapping travel and dismissing, and so that's what we've kind of computed it to. And the other thing that limits us as a family is we do like to get out in our RV, camping, exploring, which is a tremendous history for our young kids. And so we're thinking, you know what? Maybe we will do homeschool, because then we can travel around the country when we want, and we can kind of come up with our own curriculum, because oftentimes, at least where I am in Northern California, you get scolded by the teacher if you can't make class, if your kids miss school. And I don't know exactly why. Maybe it's $ per butt, but we're kind of rethinking this whole strategy.
Well, you wait. We'll see whether or not. I've already seen the teachers now that they're talking about bringing kids back to school. A lot of teachers are saying, "Whoa, we're not going. Like, it's too dangerous to be at school, right?" So, I think the great summer break of 2020 is going to continue for a long time for a lot of kids. Good
Lord. How about you, Brian? You're done, right?
Yeah. Well, with high school, yeah, but now it's into college, which that'll be even harder, considering I get easily distracted, and now I'm at home, so I'll get even more distracted. They haven't given the official word, though, if they're doing fall semester online or not, so I have no idea what's going on there. In other news, I actually got tested today with virus. One of the family members here in the house was recently exposed. They went to a friend's house for the 4th, just them two. No other friends came over, but it turned out that the friend's brother was being tested as well, and the next day he came out positive. So now the whole family is like, okay, we're going to go get tested, because God knows if she's got it or not. So
wow, you guys had a COVID party, huh?
It is not pleasant.
Did they stick that thing in your nose? How far did that go back?
All the way back.
Wait a minute. It's supposed to go in your nose? The doctor... Wait a minute.
It's a...
Chris, they might be testing you for something else.
It's a long, thin Q-tip at the end. It feels like it's either coated in pepper or hand sanitizer.
It's both coated?
It feels like it. It's a burning sensation.
Jeez.
It's
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I mean, you look pretty healthy. I think you'll bounce back regardless.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to bring up my own opinions and thoughts here, but we're just kind of sharing on what's going on with it all, because it is interesting. I mean, it affects me. Absolutely. I've been going to work every day, but full hazmat suit pretty much.
They're never going to let you near your girlfriend again there.
Ooh.
No. Her parents are already paranoid.
And
so
you didn't get to go. The prom was canceled, right?
Yeah.
Jesus, dude. And college, you're not able to go? I mean, you're going to be the next 40-year-old.
Yeah. Brian played it up smart. Instead of doing prom, he took her to field day.
Oh, yeah. Just you and her and the antenna and 100 watts. Very good. I like your style.
She enjoyed it. That's what counts.
Do you think she's going to get her ticket?
I don't know. It's kind of up for grabs.
That was quite the hesitation.
She's indecisive, to say the least.
Well, you're not pushing her, are you?
Not really. I'm just saying, well, it'd be nice. You could join me and, see what I'm all about. It's not just random old men rambling about anything unless you go to 75.
What if you do some reverse psychology? So tell her she probably won't be able to pass a test.
She's textbook smart.
See, this
Not
is
so much
my.
smart.
You've forgotten what it's like to have a girlfriend. You're in the wife zone, Jason. You can get away with that with a wife, but that doesn't work with girlfriends.
What do you mean? What's going to happen, Chris? You think she'll
be looking for a new girlfriend?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, you just swipe right. How hard can it be these days?
You were swiping tonight. Doing a little.
Yeah, I was trying some cool stuff. Well, let us know, Brian. Let us know in Discord. Obviously, we're using a repeater, so we should be fairly isolated from your germs. Cooties.
I'll clean my microphone every time. I'll make sure.
Did you drop that link for the Discord?
I did earlier in the chat.
Want it again?
I think they just came out actually with a study that said it can be transmitted via RF. Not 100% sure, but I think
5G, right?
Yeah. It's the 5G towers. You need to burn them all down.
Yeah.
Do you have any oranges in the house, Brian? Oranges?
I think so.
Well, you need to be getting some vitamin C in you.
I do. Every day we've been drinking that airborne stuff, tablet that you throw in.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, good night, Gary.
Good night, Gary.
Sorry to keep you up.
Right.
So you're taking the airborne?
Yeah, that little tablet that you drop in a glass of water.
Oh, I thought you were supposed to chop that up with a straw.
Wait a minute.
You were waving there, Rhett. Do you have something to say, or were you trying to leave?
I think he was waving at the colonel.
Oh, Gary was checking out, I think.
So Brian, how's the CW thing going?
Off and on. I'm trying here and there. I'm still
Off and
working
on,
on.
is that sort of a? Is that a CW joke?
Yeah, Dits and Dots.
Unintended. But probably once a week I'm practicing. I should probably practice more, but once a week I'm practicing punching it out. But I need to start listening to some Gordon West CDs. Being able to copy it down in my head.
Are you using an app or anything, or what are you using?
No. There's a local group of us that get on our local repeater every morning at 7.
Very cool.
It's kind of like a round table. And one of the guys sent me a couple of CDs by Gordon West on CW.
Okay. Those are supposed to be really helpful?
Apparently.
Do you have 10 meters?
Yeah.
Do you have a 10 meter radio? See if a bunch of guys in the area will get on and do 10 meter CW.
We could. We're starting to move over to 10 meters anyway, where we're experimenting.
I mean, at least if you're close, it should work.
I saw you
jump on
post
40
that
or nothing.
Today, Brian. I wasn't able to get on, but I saw you post that about getting on 10 meters. Next time you're doing that, I'll try to get on there.
All right, it's all right.
If I can get that far, but we'll see.
Have you guys heard of
net one night all in CW? Just to.
Have you guys heard of Ham Toad?
No.
Have you, so it's an app. I think it does cost $4 or $5, but I sometimes feel like that's okay. And what's really interesting is my kids really like it, and so I am not really studying, but so it does this. I don't know if this is gonna.
All right. Well, a little tip: if you search Google for ham toad, you're going to get a ham and asparagus toad in the hole recipe. Is the
So it's asking me. So Brian, what letter is this?
I can't.
E.
Oh, is that E?
E.
Doesn't sound like it's the right tone though.
It doesn't.
It's not. It's supposed to be C above middle C.
Q.
You did.
R. Damn it. It's A.
No, it was A.
It was.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's hard to hear your phone is like digitizing it. Does it sound like a tone when you listen to it?
You guys should be able. It should It should go through.
R.
That's R.
See, and then it gets muted.
Oh, that might be my noise gate.
Yeah, could be.
Anyways, it's kind of a cool app. It's it's like that 8-bit, very much up my kids' alley as far as Roblox, or they're playing Minecraft and all that jazz.
Yeah.
I played the original 8-bit stuff, so
Yeah, well, for sure. Try Morris Machine. Josh is still awake. Josh, you can jump in if you want, but you're probably hanging out with your family. Try Morris Machine. Okay, what's Morris Machine?
I'm gonna look that one up too.
I've
got like 8 letters down pretty good, honestly, but they're the ones that are sequences of 3 are a little bit more challenging. And I found that I got this at a ham fest. I don't know if you can see my video, but
pedal keyer.
Well, yeah, it's just a little MFJ Pocket CW keyer. I haven't figured out how to hook it up to my radio yet. I think you can, because there's a key out, but every time I do that, it messes up. I don't know anything about CW through the radio, but I do know that I want to learn, and it's really exciting when you hear a letter and then you recognize it and you hit the right button and it tells you did a good job. And so it's like instant gratification.
I was surprised how much I use CW now. I use it all the time for tuning up my amplifier. It's fantastic.
Yeah, there you go.
That's really all I need it for.
Tuning up the radio.
Oh, just because it sends a constant carrier?
Yeah.
You're tuning it? Yeah.
You'll see once we get you out of your little QRP land up there in Washington and get some power.
QRP, you mean 100 watts?
Yeah.
That's QRP.
That's funny.
I'd be happy with 800.
I don't know what does the SB200 put out?
More
machine. Is it 1,000?
I don't think it's quite 1,000.
No.
What is it, Chris? What, 600 or 800?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably get 600 out of it, maybe a little bit more.
What tube does it have in it?
What is in that one?
Morse machine.
Hold on a sec.
I need to.
Is it just one, or is it got a couple of them, a pair of tubes? I'll tell you, when you were showing that picture, it looks a lot like my FT-101 inside.
Yeah, 2572Bs.
Yeah, I have a Yaesu FT-101.
I just haven't turned it on yet, and then the accessory plug that I have with it, I'm not sure, because it has wires coming out of it because it went to the amp that Chris has. So I wasn't sure if am I still going to be able to use that accessory plug to turn it on.
I don't think you need the accessory plug to turn it on. I think you'll just be able to leave that unplugged.
Mm-hmm.
All you should need is the power, and that's not hooked to that accessory plug, is it?
Well, it says I've been reading or hearing where it says that you need that accessory plug because it shorts out 2 pins to turn on the heater for the tubes or something like that.
Yeah, it's a tube radio. You'll have a heater, and then you'll have you have to make sure.
But I don't think you got to have an accessory plug plugged in for that. Doesn't seem. Mm-hmm. But anyway, if that's the case, if that's what you're reading, just plug it in, and you just leave those RCA jacks floating free. You're not going to plug them into anything because you don't have an amp.
So I'm just making sure that it's not going to be connected and it's gonna short out something or whatever.
No, those are to protect your amp when you're transmitting through the high power of the amplifier.
I was gonna say that's a TR switch, right? Triggers the TR switch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, heck, guys, I think it's kind of starting to get late. We should probably wrap her up pretty soon.
Not a problem. Yeah, I do have to work tomorrow. I was just looking at an app to mirror my phone. I keep showing it to the camera, and that's no good. So I was just.
Do you have are you Apple or iPhone? Or I mean, are you Apple or Android?
Me?
Yeah,
I have an Apple phone.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Chris from the UK had a really cool app, and I put it on my computer. I'm trying to figure out where it is.
Well, so I'm gonna attempt to use a Power Mirror or a Power Soft.
You could actually share it through the share screen through Zoom.
Run lonely screen on your PC.
If you have it plugged into your computer, like with your USB and stuff.
Josh is supposed to be working, but he's Johnny on the spot with recommendations. He's saying, "Yeah, I've been meaning to put on some kind of sharing program. A lonely screen." He's saying in the chat, "Lonely screen." Yeah, because I think this is somewhat free, and it's what I use. iOS. Yeah.
Does it say what they are?
Oh, they're 572Bs. Yeah,
572Bs.
Yeah, Taylor, straight from China.
Oh, you're holding it in your hand, Chris. Where are your gloves? The grease from your hand.
I'll clean them up before they go in. I'm gonna see if my tube tester will test these.
Are those the original ones that were in there?
No, that's these are new ones I bought. I've been running the originals. When I first started running the amp, the plate voltage was a little jumpy, which might have been tubes just settling in, or it might have been, another part of the circuit. But it's settled in now, so I'm going to run those other ones for a while before I put these in. But I might get a little more go-go juice if I throw the new guys in.
Yeah.
Chris only does things one way. Big.
Jeff, do you have the original 101 or an E?
I have an E. But I think my tubes in it are gone soft because I couldn't get anything out of it last time I had it hooked up. But that was 6 months ago. And it sat for a couple of years. So.
Yeah, the one that Chris gave me is a late model original version. So
yeah, the one mine's the Yaesu. But the Yaesu and the Heath kits were very similar. I think the difference was the Yaesus were a little more gray in color, and the Heath kits were more blue green in color.
Seafoam.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, I think you guys are getting the amps and the transceiver confused. So the amp is going to it's a 201. That's going up to Nick. But Bert got what is the transceiver that you got?
The FT-101.
FT-101. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got the Heath kit one, not the Yaesu, or you got the Yaesu one?
The Yaesu one.
The Yaesu one. Yeah. I think it's the FT-101E. I've seen a bunch of them though. They had double E, and I think there was even something with an X in it or a Z. I don't know, but
see, Bert's doing it the right way. He's cleaning it all up and taking his time with it. I got that crusty old amp covered with smoke, and I'm like, "Yep, I should really clean this and go through it." And
let's use it.
I immediately plugged it in.
Why don't I just plug it in and just go?
No smoke came out, and it made power. So
you didn't let the magic smoke out, huh?
Yeah, no, it's still holding the magic smoke. I'm a little worried that when I clean the smoker grit off of it, it might release the magic.
You might break something. It's holding something together.
It's like oil leaks on an old Jeep, right? That's what holds the oil in. It's like that crusty old oil that builds up.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Perfect. A little after 9. I think we'll wrap things up. If anyone else has any final thoughts. Like I said, we'll be back next week on the same repeater, but Nick over there at Northwest Ham Shack, he will be running the show. I'm on call. So I don't know if I'll be called, but there's a really good possibility. I just don't want to be last minute. So go check out his channel. He's a new YouTuber. He's starting to do some things. I know it's tough. He's got 3 kids, a newborn. And Nick, how old's your oldest?
Oldest is 8, and youngest is 9 months.
Yeah, so you have a negative amount of time at this point.
Yeah, yeah. I lose the 9-month-year-old hold the camera up for the videos. It's really kind of tough.
Yeah, the last video, Molly filmed it, the 8-year-old. It was awesome.
Yeah, you're doing a little. Was that a soda?
That was my first soda peak. Yeah, it was super cool. I've got a couple planned that I might go do this weekend. We were planning on doing one last weekend, and we got about a mile away from the house before we had a puke episode in the back of my truck from one of the kids, which turned into an all-day event, and so I didn't get to go to any kind of peak. But there's 3 one-pointers that you can almost drive to that are going to be perfect for taking a whole family up. So real cool views, and people can hang out and play in the parks and stuff kind of near the top. And then there's some pretty gnarly ones around here too that I plan on hiking up this summer. So
now, can you drive to a soda? I thought a soda you had to move with your own manpower.
No, a lot. There are quite a few low-level soda peaks that are. It really, I think that program was designed, from what I understand, to kind of involve everybody.
Okay.
And so there are a lot of soda peaks that you can drive to or near, but you aren't allowed to utilize your vehicle. So you have to actually take anything that you're going to use away from your vehicle. And I'll always try to make a point to park somewhere and then hike in, whatever it be, whether it be a quarter mile or 10 miles, whatever. But yeah, you can't use a vehicle.
So if it's raining, you have to get out.
Yes, you do have to get out, and it rains here all the time. So it's a little different than in California, where when it rains down there, you guys just lock yourselves up in your house and don't come out, and the whole world stops. Here, it doesn't really matter whether it rains or not. You just carry on with your life.
Yeah, no, we're celebrating rain. The news will talk about it for 2 days if it rains for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, very good. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna hang it up. Otherwise, we're hams. We'll just keep talking till 10, 11 o'clock at night.
For those guys that are geeking out on the IC705, I just see Ham Radio Concepts just uploaded a video hands-on with the IC705.
What? Eric in Florida? He's got it in his hands?
Florida's got a hands-on review.
Man, killing it. Well, good for him. Yeah.
I know what I'm doing after we get off of here.
Right on. Well, okay, guys. As always, it's always been great. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. This is a wrap-up, our weekly nets, our anti-nets, where we just kind of have fun. Nick, you'll have to think about what you want to talk about next week. But
probably nothing.
Nothing?
We'll see.
You can always do trivia. Chris did a fantastic job of trivia on your channel, 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
That was really cool. Awesome. Some really good ham radio nuggets of knowledge there. If anyone wants to go check that out previously on the Northwest Ham Shack. So
yeah, we might have to, if you're up for it next week, Chris, do you want to coordinate?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm up for it.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I'll give Carlos a break, and it'll be fun.
Well, Carlos got a rough time early tonight. Nobody wanted to jump on with him. I was like, oh, that's rough.
I think, unfortunately, a lot more people were watching the YouTube and just sitting back enjoying, and maybe they weren't by a radio or cared to fire up their phone, or so it's kind of an interesting dynamic. It can change weekly. Okay, well, 7-3, everyone. My name is Jason. This is Ham Radio TV. We're here every Wednesday, unless we're over there on Nick's channel. I think Nick is that way.
I'm somewhere. This is Nick from Northwest Ham Shack.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
for coming out, everybody.
7-3. I'm going to hit this button. Good night.